Welcome to another Simpsons tier list. This time it's
Season 3.
yeah,
We're out of the early years, and now we're into
the golden age.
yeah.
All right, let's go. We begin with the band episode.
Yes.
You can't watch this anymore.
It has perhaps the greatest Simpsons song of all time.
Yeah, it's a pretty good song.
It's such an odd episode when you sit down and think about it. It doesn't really fit into the wholesomeness of season 2, nor does it fit into the high stakes, crazy action adventures of seasons 4, 5, 6. It's weird. It's
Well, this is made by the previous team. This is made by the season 2 team. This is a season 2 episode, for want of a better word. It's a holdover. I believe the next episode is the first one that's run by Al and Mike. So this is Jim, Simon, and Matt. But I mean, in the commentary, they even acknowledged 10 years later that it seems like a really weird episode. And they said that you can't comprehend it unless you were around at the time and you realized just how massive Michael Jackson was. That's what they said about it 10 years on. So now we're even further removed from that. And we didn't grow up in that time.
yeah.
So
The first act I really like because it's making fun of Freudian psychoanalysis. That somehow there's this magical formula.
yeah, the pink shirt. The pink
Yes.
shirt is really good satire. That having a pink shirt, being an individual, means there must be something wrong with you. You're not conforming. That's great stuff.
I love that.
Yeah, that seems very Sam Simon, I feel.
But I don't really understand what the point of the episode
It's
was.
to have Michael Jackson in the show because it's an enormous guest star.
Yeah.
And he's going to write us a song.
Mr. Lisa Goes to Washington.
Yeah, you love this one.
I
Political
love this one.
satire.
Political
Yeah,
satire.
yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Um,
This episode also has some songs in them.
yeah. And like, I don't know if people can really get how funny this is. Lisa declares she presents her new speech where she declares that she has lost hope in America, and the entire American political establishment
Yeah.
moves mountains.
The joke is that the system works.
Yeah.
This would never happen in real life.
In real life,
Well, it's the thing. The Simpsons they'll do an extreme negative thing, but then sometimes they'll do the opposite, do the extreme positive thing. Usually they're coerced to by a guest star, but not in this case. But where you just have things go extremely positive, and that's equally funny.
yeah, it's really making fun of how terrible the real world is by demonstrating what it ought to be or what the romantic.
But also, she still loses, which is this is the start of a classic dynamic of Lisa constantly losing, doing the right thing and losing, being genuine. They've talked about this. Yardley's talked about how she never gets to win. They never let her win.
Yeah.
So, yeah, are you going to put this in the S?
This is great. This is great.
Okay, just great. All right. And then we have When Flanders Failed. Now, this is a really sweet one. I really love this one.
Tearjerker.
Yeah, it's got some rough animation. They were very upset with how the animation came out. But it's the scene when Homer sees Flanders packing up to move at nighttime, and he almost tells him what he's done, and they both start crying and saying it's my fault. No, it's my fault. That we watched that again recently, and I really thought that scene was absolutely tremendous. That's one of the best emotional scenes, one of the best Homer scenes in all of The Simpsons. I thought it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
It goes to show how early Homer is so much more interesting of a character than he will be in the next few seasons, where he just sort of becomes like a cartoon character. Here he is a real human being. He makes a mistake. He wants Flanders to fail, and yet when he's faced with the reality of Flanders failing, it hurts him, and he needs to do whatever he can to make it right.
Yeah.
It's weird how, like, Homer maybe he was expecting it to not work. Because Homer just assumes that Flanders always gets to succeed in everything, and he wasn't expecting to actually get one over Flanders.
Yeah, maybe. Also, when we watched it again recently, I think this is the first time you've watched it on DVD or streaming, and you saw the act break, the end of Act 1 act break, where Homer chokes for for a long time and turns many different colors. You said you'd never seen that before because that was cut out in syndication, and that's an amazing moment right there.
Yeah.
Okay, S tier. Wow. All right, Bart the murderer. So Bart joins the mob, and everyone thinks that he's gotten Skinner killed, and there's a trial, and then it turns out Skinner survives through a MacGyver-esque
Yeah.
turn of events. It's amazing. It's wonderful. This is a great episode.
The episode survives on the meme of I decided to bounce a ball and see how many times I did it and see if I could beat that number of times.
So, what do you think? Where are you going to put this one?
It's fine.
Really? I think it's great.
You want it great.
Well, you can put it where you
we're
want.
gonna put it
in-
where
okay,
good.
we'll compromise.
Yes.
All right, Homer defined. This is another brilliant one. Pulling a Homer. The plant is going to have a meltdown. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and he averts it, and then, yeah, it's a wonderful episode. And they really wanted Pulling a Homer to enter the lexicon, and did it?
Not really.
Not really. No.
No.
Well,
There's a lot of other words that definitely did.
but yeah, it's fantastic.
You know, we always think of Homer's rival as the final statement on how absurd Homer's job is. The fact that he is untrained, uneducated, he's totally unqualified, and yet he has this incredible position in this power plant, and it doesn't make any sense. And the fact that he somehow saves them from meltdown, but it was just a sheer accident. Maybe this episode is the beginning of that conversation about how stupid this situation really is, how unrealistic.
And we have John Lovitz as a guest star playing the other power plant owner who comes to visit, who says, "Do you have any idea which button you pressed?" Mo.
It's good.
All right, then we have Like Father, Like Clown.
Oh,
yeah, and this is an amazing episode. This is a big emotional father episode. We introduce the fact that Krusty is Jewish, which is one of the funniest ideas, and I think they sold it on the idea that his real name is Herschel Krestowski. That was how they were trying to pitch it to Jim, and that was what cinched it. And one of the best ever guest stars. Is he the only Emmy award winning guest star? He might be. I think. Yeah. So this is a very emotional episode. Yeah.
It's so emotional. It barely qualifies as a sitcom. It's almost a drama. The way that Lisa and Bart work and try and convince him to forgive his son.
But don't you find it hilarious what actually does convince him at the end?
Yeah. Yeah. None of this theology crap.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have Treehouse of Horror #2. What's in this? What's in this one?
Oh.
Well, I can see from the thumbnail that there's the one where Bart has the powers of the mind that can control the world, and that is explicitly trying to be a what is it? What's the show? We talked about this last time. The 60s, 50s Twilight Zone. There's explicitly Twilight Zone. They do the Twilight Zone narrator in this one. And the other two segments will be doing something else.
Yes.
What were they?
I don't know. I can never remember.
You can never remember Treehouse of Horrors. I'm sure it was great. Let's put it in great.
Let's put it in good. Treehouse of Horrors are always good.
I think they're great. All right, then we have Lisa's Pony.
Okay, so this is a much more wacky episode. This is one of the forerunners to the crazy shenanigans that it's going to be.
And it's also another episode about a bad father.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Homer ends up working at the Quickie Mart. This has the iconic line, "There goes the best Quickie Mart employee."
Yeah.
um, yeah.
Um,
I mean, there's some emotional stuff in it. You know,
yeah,
it's very sweet the lengths that Homer goes to for Lisa in this
yeah,
episode. Yeah.
yeah. Um, The Simpsons actually has a finite amount of resources. They can't just go to Brazil on a...
Yeah, yeah. It would be a little while before that all set in, that Homer just has hundreds of dollars in his wallet that he can dish out. Yeah, it was still very real.
All of the plots where the Simpsons are struggling financially and they need to come up with something, those feel all interesting.
Yeah, well, that was a very Jim and Matt Groening kind of concept. Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. And then we have Saturdays of Thunder. Would you believe it's another episode about being a father? It was only in hindsight that they realized they did 3 episodes in a row that were about father issues. But nobody minded because they were all great.
Yeah,
So this
yeah.
is the soapbox derby racing,
Yeah.
which is a concept you don't really understand at all, is it?
I mean, we have sort of,
Yes, but
have billy carts.
you've never interacted with that sort of
I
world.
once rode in a billy cart.
Did you?
I
In
immediately...
a competition?
No.
No, you don't. The competitive idea of this world, you
no.
don't understand.
I
this,
don't
no.
know.
No, but yeah. What do you think of this one? We go to the Father Institute.
Yes.
Homer burns Cosby's book, so that's a great moment that only gets better with age.
Yeah. It's Homer who is the one that gets wronged.
Yeah.
It's Bart who does the immoral thing.
Yeah. Well, I guess we had to change it up since we've done this episode 3 times in a row.
Yeah. This is great.
Really? Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Flaming Moe's.
Oh,
Yeah.
Flaming Moe's. I don't know.
Yeah, you can use it.
I don't know what this episode has, but it
has a magical quality.
It hits
much like the
so-
Flaming Moe itself.
Like the other episodes when they're dealing with emotional tension or relationships that are fractured, it feels a little bit halfway done, but this feels so heavy. This feels like a genuine friendship is broken.
And it's interesting, though, because this is also a very wacky episode at this point in the show. You know, this season is building towards wackier and wackier episodes. I mean, the Michael Jackson one was pretty wacky, and then going to Washington, that's a pretty big deal. And, you know, this episode, you know, Moe's life completely transforms, you know, where he's got Aerosmith playing there and his bar becomes a huge deal. And it's pretty outlandish when you compare it to the first 2 seasons, the idea of this happening. And yet the story feels very down to earth. It's just about Homer and Moe's relationship. Yeah. And Aerosmith are great guest stars. They're great. They did the theme tune to our favorite Spider-Man cartoon. So got nothing but nice things to say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a wonderful episode.
Oh, and the fact that they reconcile at the end.
Yeah.
It's really adorable.
Yeah.
It's like maybe my favorite Moe episode of all time.
And I love when the guy comes from the company and Moe is excited to meet, what's the name? I don't remember the name, but he explains that person doesn't really exist. He's just a conglomeration of different IPs. And Moe's like, is he really here? And yeah, that's a good bit. All right. Burns verkaufen, de Kraftwerk. So this is the Germans episode.
Yeah.
This is a very iconic episode, and again another big wacky episode. They're getting bigger.
I struggle to remember this episode.
It has the Land of Chocolate.
Yes, yes.
That puts it in S tier automatically. One of probably David Silverman's finest hour as an animator.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And so Burns sells the power plant, and then he's all miserable because he has nothing to do now in his life. You know, the power plant was his life, having that ruling over everyone, and the Germans just treat everyone very nicely. Yeah.
This is it's unusual. This is like
Phil Hartman plays one of the Germans. He does a funny German accent.
We don't have a lot of like culture war stuff.
They were originally going to have them be Japanese, I believe, but they thought that would be too cliche. so they
Yes.
changed them to German. But then they did also say we did the exact same jokes, just with Germans. So yeah,
But yeah, this is a real culture war. This is like trying to make a statement about the difference between the American labor force and the German labor force and the way that the two relate to it
Yeah.
on a cultural level. It's a statement of sorts.
I don't know if they were really thinking about making a statement.
It's good.
Then we have I Married Marge, the second flashback episode. So last time we did their high school, how they first met. This is how he knocks her up, and they have to get married. This is the one where he walks out on her. You won't see me again until I am a man, which is an amazing emotional scene, which they talk about in the commentary. That like it's so amazing how you feel really emotional for the characters here, and you don't hate Homer, because this could seem really awful that he's just walking out on his woman when she's about to have a child. It really could paint him in a bad light, yet the way they execute it, it feels really poignant.
Yeah.
That's Jim again, I think.
Yeah, it's really emotional. I think this is my
and
favorite
it has,
of the flashback.
and it's the
episodes.
iconic the conception of Bart in
Yes.
the windmill in the
Yeah.
mini golf course, and that's an iconic part of the show's
Is
history.
this where Homer does the sperm dance?
Yeah, probably is. Yeah, I don't know. That is a great moment too.
This is great.
Yeah. Then we have Radio Bart, which
Another.
did this win the Emmy, or did it not win the Emmy? I feel like it didn't. I don't know. They put this up, but I think it might have lost. But this is a very emotional episode. This is a wonderful one. A prank goes out of control.
Yes.
Yeah. And this was based on a true story, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was,
Yes.
Hey, doesn't this has my favorite line that I never stop quoting? There, that should do it. That's the last line of the episode. Yeah, perfect line to end the episode.
I don't think Bart has ever listened to any of your albums. Quiet, Mark. He's a good digger.
Yeah, Sting is one of the best guest stars. Yeah, that's fantastic. And then they just shove Sting out of the way. I love that. He doesn't get a final line.
A lot of the other episodes involve Bart doing something that involves hurting someone, and he decides to have a moral reflection on it, and he decides to change his mind.
Yes, they do a lot of moral reflecting with Bart in the early days, which that really drops off later.
Yes, but this one he just was worried that he was going to get in trouble when they found the walkie-talkie.
In general, there's a lot of moral reflection in early Simpsons. It's like Homer and Bart often having to deal with moral reflections, and that is really something that it loses in the later years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's really good. Yeah, I think they're all great. All right, Lisa the Greek. This is the one where Homer and Lisa bond over betting on the sport, where it turns out that she's brilliant at knowing who's going to win, and it starts off being really sweet, where the two of them are having so much fun together. But then it turns out that Homer cared more about the gambling than about spending time with Lisa, and so she gets really upset with him.
Yes. As soon as the football season is over.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it.
Or is it bye week?
Yeah, so this is another one where Homer... It's another one about being a bad parent. God, but it's another... Again, they're all just the same formula, but they always work. It's all really sweet. Homer figures it out in the end. He saves the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is so domestic. It's so grounded.
Yeah.
It's... You think that your father has finally come around to accepting you for who you are, rather than the comparison between who you are and who he wanted as a child. And so Lisa feels this amazing ecstasy that finally she has a father in her life, and it gets taken away from her, and she gets so upset. It's so relatable that The Simpsons, even though it gets so big at times, sometimes it just takes stories from our ordinary lives.
Yeah, this is very domestic. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, this is great.
Then we have Homer Alone, which is Marge has the breakdown, which is an incredible moment at this point in the show's history. This is the first episode to really focus in on Marge and look at her perspective. It was written by the only writer they had who knew how to write the female perspective, who wrote the Patty episode from the previous season, I believe. Yeah, and then Marge goes to the spa treatment place, and Homer has to look after the kids, and then I kind of forget what happens by the end of it. Bart and Lisa have to stay with Patty and Selma, don't they? And then
Yes.
Homer loses Maggie. Yeah, something happens with Maggie. Doesn't it have a sweet ending involving Maggie? She's missing Marge, right? Yeah. The Chief Wiggum is saying, "It's okay. Don't jump. Come down." You know, that's I don't really remember. I remember the breakdown more, but the first act is amazing. Yeah.
The first act is amazing.
How many TV shows up till that point had focused on the stress of being a housewife?
Yeah.
You know, it's a powerful thing.
In general, Marge suffers from terrible Wilma Flintstone syndrome, which is you never get to do anything. You're mostly there just to make sure that the family is a full unit.
Well, that's every housewife in sitcoms, you know, from those times. Yeah. So, where do you want?
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's good.
It's good.
The first act gets it to good.
They're all good. They're all good. All right, Bart the Lover. I seem to recall you once told me about how this episode was an incredible episode about you know, doing the wrong thing, pulling a prank on someone, and then realizing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing about Bart is that he's not like evil. He's not a sadist like Nelson is. He doesn't want to see people in pain. He is more of a prankster and a jokester. And he thinks that he's pulling a prank on Edna, but then he realizes that he's gone too far, that he's actually hurt her, and he realizes that something has to be done. He has to find a way to make things right, and that's when he asks his parents for help. So it's such an amazing episode for Bart's character that he wants to make fun of people, but he doesn't want to actually hurt them. And he does actually care about his teacher. He doesn't want to actually ruin her life. He just wants to, give her something as payback for all the things that she's done to him. And so it's such a great Bart episode.
But it's also another great episode where we see things from a female perspective, where we get to really learn about Edna's life, which we hadn't up until then. She was just the teacher who is a foil for Bart, and this episode develops her for the first time, which is fantastic. Yeah. Also, what do you think about President Woodrow Wilson? This episode helps teach people about American presidents and also sports statistics, which made everyone really angry. That last moment of the episode, they just threw that in just as a random thing. They just thought that would be a bit of fun. And then everyone was really angry. All the viewers were like, "What was that about? Why was that?" They didn't understand why everyone was so angry. It has a really sweet ending with the family all getting together to write the letter to settle the whole thing. And Homer gets to have a great moment as well, writing the final line, and everyone just thinks it's really sweet and beautiful. There's no joke there. It's just a genuine moment. It's another very Jim scene. Yeah.
The other thing is, in the previous season, we had the episode with Principal Skinner and Patty trying to have a relationship, and that was such an interesting exploration of romantic love, where it's just two lonely people who are just sort of trying to figure out how to not be lonely anymore, and it's awkward, it's confusing, they don't really know what to do, and it doesn't work, and they amicably part ways.
Yeah, it's basically the same episode.
Exploring loneliness and the yearning for...
Amazing, all the different angles you can explore that from. Yeah, that's great.
This is S tier.
Okay, so then we have Homer at the bat. So this is the episode where we break the show, basically.
Yep.
We've been doing some bigger, wackier episodes, but this is the one that breaks everything. The 9 ringers.
Yep.
9 insane guest stars.
Yep.
Daryl Strawberry.
Daryl Strawberry.
How much do we love the moment where they heckle Daryl in the
Yeah.
tier?
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. It's so funny, this episode. It's so bonkers. It's amazing. All the ways that they all get in trouble, that they all can't get to the game, they're all so funny. The bottomless pit
Yep.
is absolutely nuts.
Yep. The house fire that never ends.
Yeah, well, that was one of those examples that I was talking about where you have to do something positive because he was the one guest star who didn't really want to play ball, so to speak. He was they were all very lovely except for him, and they wrote something for him that he didn't like, and so they had to write him being a superhero and saving this woman's stuff from this burning house, saving her cat and everything. But they try and find a way to make that funny, whereas it just keeps going on and it's ridiculous. So yeah, they always manage to make it work, but he was a little difficult. Yeah, it's also funny that the plot just completely changes because it starts off being a classic underdog story, an underdog sports story, which everyone loves those kinds of films, those kinds of stories. So you think we're doing that about Homer and the guys, and which would be an easy story to do in the season 2, 3 kind of style. But then we immediately stop that story. We bring in the 9 ringers, and the whole thing changes into a completely different show. We have the sideburns, another classic gag.
Yeah.
Mr. Burns and the sideburns, and he's still better than Steinbrenner. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. It really is. It symbolizes the end of early Simpsons and the birth of Golden Age.
But even though you love early Simpsons, you still love this episode.
Yeah, I love this episode.
It's S tier.
It's S tier, yeah.
All right, then we have separate vocations. So this is the one where they get assigned their future careers.
Yep.
Bart gets to hang out with the cops.
So Bart goes from being a mobster to being a cop.
In the space of one season. That's something. And Lisa finds out that she's destined to be a housewife, which really upsets her. And then Bart turns around, he becomes the hall monitor, and Lisa turns around, she becomes a punk. We have the flipping of their characters. Yeah. And then it has a really sweet ending where Bart looks after Lisa, she's going to get in trouble, and he steps in and claims it was him. He loses everything, and we go back to restore the status quo, but it's really sweet because he looks after her. Yeah, he sacrifices everything for her. But we get an amusing twist of having Skinner and Bart now becoming buddies, and Skinner gets to use Bart's knowledge of being a delinquent to actually stop the other delinquents, and that's a fun dynamic.
Yeah. I think that the downside of the episode is that, I mean, there is something real that could... they downplay it, the relationship between Lisa and Marge.
Yeah. Well, we do focus a bit more on Bart's side of the story.
So Marge, as a homemaker, feels like she is living a fulfilling life, and then her daughter spins around and declares that she finds her life to be insulting.
There's absolutely some interesting stuff to explore there, but it's a little beyond the pay grade of most of these writers, I think. But is this the last appearance of the Lawrence Pryor, the guy at the school who... What's his role? He's in the first season, he's the... You know who I'm talking about?
No.
Well, when they get the tests at the start of the episode, there's that...
Oh, the career counselor.
Career counselor. He's from the first season. He's a season 1 character.
Right.
Yeah, from Bart the Genius, when they think Bart is a genius.
Right.
And he's a fun, character that's a satire of those kinds of people. But I believe, like a lot of season 1 sort of aspects, they don't stick around. I think this is his last appearance.
Yeah. That guy gives me the creeps.
Well, yeah. Those kinds of people are very creepy in real life.
Yeah.
But they called him Lawrence Pryor because he pries. It's very... that's the level of cleverness of some of the season 1 names.
Is it good?
Then we have Dog of Death.
Ah, yes.
So this is the one where Santa's little helper ends up with Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
I don't remember how that happens. Is this the one where he runs away?
Yeah.
I know from the thumbnail we have a Clockwork Orange parody.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
pretty funny. Although you've never seen Clockwork Orange.
No, I haven't. I haven't even read it.
No. And nor should you. It's horrible.
So I've got a copy of it over there.
Okay. So, what do you remember of this episode?
Well, I remember the ending
Right, with Release the Hounds.
where
Yeah.
Santa's little helper is about to rip Bart
Yeah,
to
and then we have
shreds.
Sweetness.
Yeah.
So another sweet ending. Yeah.
It's fine.
A sweet, sweet ending gets you into the good category, surely. Then we have Colonel Homer, Lurleen. Now this is a great one. This is one of the only episodes that the storyline is by Matt Groening.
Right.
Yeah, this is his idea.
Right.
He actually does something occasionally.
Oh, this is a magnificent episode.
Yeah, it's really good. Homer is so funny in this episode. He's completely oblivious. You know, there's a lot of episodes about Homer and Marge having some kind of falling out, or someone has an affair, and this is one of the more interesting ones where there's no part of Homer that is trying to hurt Marge, that is trying to have an affair with Lurleen. It's entirely one-sided on Lurleen's part, but Homer is just so oblivious and insensitive that he keeps on upsetting Marge.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Yeah. So this isn't the best adultery episode.
No.
I think that belongs to Mindy.
Yeah, but that's another one that does an interesting spin on it, which is different from this. You know, there are some interesting ways to do that, but a lot of them end up being, you know, pretty generic. But yeah, this one's good.
But just to focus on this one, this is such an important conversation about communication.
Yeah.
Because Homer thinks that he's doing the right thing, and Marge is getting really upset at him, and they don't have a means by which to communicate and explain and reconcile what's going on, and so the problem just gets worse and worse.
All the best stories are about communication, or people struggling to communicate.
Married heterosexual couples who don't know how to actually talk to
Which
each
is
other.
all married heterosexual couples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this was Mindy, it would be S tier, but I think this is A tier.
All right, then we have Black Widower. This is the second appearance of Sideshow Bob and the first proper Sideshow Bob episode.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
The first one is atypical, but this is where we start the formula of him coming back. Although he isn't trying to kill Bart
No.
in this episode.
No, why is he trying to kill Selma?
I don't remember. They wanted to win an award. They wanted to win a mystery award, and so they tried to overthink their mystery, and it ended
Yeah.
up sort of getting away from them a little.
Yeah.
They're not mystery writers.
No.
They shouldn't have tried to win a mystery award. But it's still, yeah, even though the mystery doesn't quite hold together, it is a really fun episode. It's a great start to the formula of Sideshow Bob, and it has to the Homermobile.
I mean, the actual mystery, I like it.
Yeah,
I like that the clues of the murder are laid out.
It's not as good as Who Shot Mr. Burns. They really should have put that one up for a mystery award, because that is fantastic.
Yeah. But the mystery suffers from the fatal flaw that the Simpsons are watching a VHS home recording of something that just happened a few minutes ago.
They acknowledge that in the commentary. How did they get that tape so quickly? It's the whole thing hinges upon that. It's a little odd, but the twist about at the end about the explosion is really funny. Yeah, and then Wiggum accidentally setting it off. I mean, that's fantastic. Yeah. Why was he trying to kill Selma? We need to go back and rewatch this one. Well, you put it in S tier, even though the mystery doesn't hold together. Good. Yeah. Can't get the full marks. Then we have the Otto Show, which, in hindsight, was a questionable idea to ever do an episode about Otto. He was a character that isn't really interesting enough to hold down a show, and as a result, he isn't in a lot of the episode. The first act is about going to see... Is this when they go to see Mystic Spiral? Not Mystic Spiral.
Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap. Mystic Spiral is Trent's band from Daria. Spinal Tap, which isn't a real band. They go to see Spinal Tap. So it's more about Bart and Milhouse and Spinal Tap. And Otto just sort of comes in towards the end of that. And then then we do other stuff in the other two acts as well that I can't remember. But
Yes.
Spinal Tap are really fun. Do
Yeah.
you know anything about Spinal Tap?
Nope.
That one member of Spinal Tap is Harry Shearer, who is one of the regulars of The Simpsons, plays Mr. Burns and Flanders and so many characters. And Spinal Tap are not a real band; they're a fictional band.
Right.
And so Harry Shearer is playing one of the singers from Spinal Tap, and so he is, but he's playing himself as the singer in this episode alongside his usual characters. And yeah, you really should watch the Spinal Tap movie. It's really highly regarded rock and roll parody movie. Yeah. So then we have the Otto story, and he lives with the Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets
Sponge.
Yeah, that's a good moment. Yeah. And
He punches a hole in the wall.
yeah. Miss and Principal Skinner tries to drive the school bus, and
Yeah.
he learns that he can't take it, and hail to the bus driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing. The early Simpsons episodes are all about intense drama, about heartbreak, about learning lessons, and they're actual dynamic characters.
There are no lessons to be learnt in this episode.
But with the later Simpsons, we end up having this menagerie of one-note gag characters, whether it's Groundskeeper Willie, or the sea captain, or the crazy cat lady, or old Gil.
They don't usually hold down an episode, though.
No, they can barely hold down a scene. Once they give you their one line, say the line.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
So Otto clearly falls into that latter category.
Yes.
He is just a gag character, but we're trying to make him into a...
But the thing is, we were able to make characters like Edna and Skinner into real characters by giving them an episode.
Yes.
But it didn't take with Otto. It didn't work. They couldn't find anything there.
Which it shows it plausibly could have happened. And, you get credits for trying.
I don't think so. Not in this case. Even they acknowledged it wasn't a good one. It's fine. Yeah, put it in the fine category. All right. Bart's friend falls in love. This is a good one.
Yeah.
Millhouse. We have a Millhouse episode. This is the first ever Millhouse episode, isn't it? And Millhouse falls in love with a new girl who comes to school. What's her name?
Don't remember.
Stacy? I don't remember what her name is, but it's a sweet story. Yeah, it's a sweet story from Millhouse, and then Bart ruins it all, and she gets sent to go to school with the nuns.
Yes.
Remember?
No, I
Canadian nuns.
don't. Right, Canadian nuns.
They never let me out.
Yeah. So we get another episode about romance.
Yeah.
It's a very love-centric season.
Yeah.
And
communication.
Yeah. And the advantage that when we're dealing with children, we can go much harder than we can with adults, because adults have they still have jobs and careers and lives, but kids, we can just do all sorts of crazy things. We can just ship them off if we have to. Yeah, it's fine.
And then we have the return of Herb.
Okay, the return of Herb.
Yeah, very quickly since his first appearance, just one season later, and we decide to bring him back, and nobody's quite sure why. They claim that Jim was upset with how he was left in the original episode, that Jim wanted him to, at the end of the first episode, he wanted to end with him saying, "Wait, I've got another idea." That you'd get the idea that he bounces back. But then in the commentary for this episode, Jim seems to claim that he doesn't understand why they brought him back himself. So,
Yeah.
but it's a fun episode. It's not as powerful as the first one, but
No.
it's full of fantastic stuff. It's he punches Homer in the face, and Homer on the vibrating chair. I got you the damn chair. Can you stop thinking about your ass? I try, but I can't. And there's the craziness of the machine he invents, the baby translator. It's a really nutty idea, and pizza boxes are an excellent source of cheese. I mean, it's a fun episode. There's lots of good stuff.
It feels more like we're just giving
it's
Danny the mic and just saying, "Go for it."
It's just let's just leave Herb with a nice send off.
Yeah.
We've never brought him back again since then, have we?
No.
Not as far as I
no.
know.
It's
Why
it's,
not? Danny's not doing anything. Bring him
Yeah.
back again.
Yeah. Always Sunny's over, right?
No, it's still going.
Oh, okay.
It'll never end.
Oh, that's what's keeping him.
I don't think that's keeping him busy. I'm sure he could spare a few hours to record.
Hmm.
All right,
Yes.
where do you?
It's kind of it's it's similar to the Michael Jackson episode where this episode exists and it's just not clear what the idea was behind it.
Well, we know what the idea behind the Michael Jackson episode was. The idea was we've got Michael Jackson. That was the idea.
Okay, and so this
Because Michael Jackson already had a relationship to the show because he wrote the song for Bart. He wrote "Do the Bartman." He wanted to write a hit song for Bart, and so they got him into the show. I think that's how it happened. But they were like, let's write an episode around the idea of having Michael Jackson. So it's the first episode to really be written around the idea of a guest star. And I guess you can say maybe that's fraught with problems. I don't know. But yeah, and this episode is just, let's bring back Herb. So
Yes.
they both are lacking kind of a strong core idea.
because the first one is kind of another example of the perversion, the irony of American capitalism, in the same way that the grimy episode is.
Yeah.
That the slobbish loser American worker somehow comes out on top, and the hard-working academic fails.
Yeah.
And the Herb episode is sort of like that. In a sort of way, Homer ends up being successful despite being an absolute incompetent loser, and Herb is ruined. And then this one, it feels much more romantic. It feels like the spirit of entrepreneurship, of ingenuity, of hard work actually pays off. But it's not a parody in the same way that Mr. Lisa Goes to Washington is a parody.
No.
It feels earnest.
It is earnest.
It's an earnest celebration of American capitalism.
Because they thought Jim wanted them to earnestly give Herb a send-off.
Yeah,
And that's the end of the season.
that's the end of the season.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's a nice little season. Not as many S tiers, but the ones that are there are really amazing.
It's a big bulk in that A to B tier.
Yeah, I mean it's great. There's lots of good stuff. You're not gonna be unhappy watching this season. You're gonna have a great time.